This video is not short. I'm not awesome. I'm sorry for dragging you through this. I'll create chapters for this one. Welcome in for today's YouTube video tutorial. I will be talking about 5 intermediate-ish things that I think everyone should do when setting up OBS. Not just for streaming to Twitch, but again, everything I'm doing in these series is about streaming to Twitch, so let's go. Number 1 on the list for today is pretty basic, but I put it in intermediate because it's not something people need to do when they're first starting out or worry about it, though it is something to keep in mind immediately when you're setting up OBS, so you don't have to go back and change a bunch of things later down the road. So the first topic is labeling sources and scenes. Now, as you can see, I have already put 2 in here. We're not going to use those. We will talk about what I mean though. So what I mean when I'm talking about labeling sources and scenes is putting tags before them. Now, I'm just going to use sources as an example because every time I do a scene, it's going to take me away from what I'm currently recording, and you're not going to be able to hear me or see the scene. So we'll just do it with sources. It applies to both the scenes and sources doc. Anything that you put in, when you add a new image or audio source or whatever, put a tag at the beginning of it. So say I for image, and then picture of stuff. Upload whatever image. Let's just use this brick tunnel as an example. Yeah, now we have a brick tunnel. So we go back over to the name of it since we have an actual image, and we're gonna rename brick tunnel. Yay! Now if it was a scene, I'm just gonna again use these. I would recommend, we're gonna use equal signs, creating dividers. So for dividers, you just create a scene that has no content in it. It doesn't matter what kind of scene you create, there will be nothing in there. So imagine that this was over here. That is how you would want your scenes to look, separating everything with tabs. So you could do main scenes, audio captures, nests, whatever. And you would separate everything out so it's easy to find on your left side. You know where everything is, you know what you're looking for, all right? Inside sources, you don't really need the dividers. I mean, you can have them, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a little harder over here because some things need to be on top of or below other things, and it's not really dependent on what type of source it is, more so how you want it to look on screen. Nesting scenes is the second thing I would like to talk about, and it's exactly what I did with my microphone here. Now, right here we have our monitor, which is being captured on screen, and that is a direct source added as a display capture. Now, a nested scene would be taking a scene that's created over on this side and importing the entire scene. So everything within that scene will come over into your current scene. Now, just for kicks, we can create some stuff. All right, now for demonstration purposes, I just created a new scene that doesn't matter at all, but it does have stuff in it, and it will allow me to show how to nest a scene. So you just go into the scene you wish to nest another scene in and import that entire scene. And now it will be visible on your current scene. Yay! And you can put this on every single scene that you want it on. So if you wanted to create a scene that is entirely your audio sources, you can do that and then put that inside of every every other scene. If you want to put all of your alerts in their own scene so that you can put them on multiple scenes after that, you could do that. If you wanted to put your display captures and all of that on its own scene and everything else in their own scenes, it goes a long way to keeping other scenes organized so your main gameplay scene or whatever isn't cluttered with 15, 20 sources. It would just have scenes that have those sources inside of them. You also have the opportunity to resize a nested scene to anything you would like to move it around inside of new scenes. Now let's take a gander at my streaming scene and setup because it will come in handy for the rest of this video anyways. This is my gameplay scene. Now I'm gonna move this over so we can see it better, along with having duplicates of my face. There we go. So in here, you can see what I was talking about with having your scene set up listed with dividers. So I have my main scenes, my nests for my displays. I have a PS5 running through a capture card. I have my desktop. That's it. But then I have them both imported into another scene. So this one is the PC screen and the PS5 screen, and I have a toggle so I never have to switch between the two inside of my actual gameplay scene. I just push a button on my touch portal, or I can use a voice command using StreamerBot. Also, my camera nests. I have several cameras, so I have them each their own thing, and then I can import them. I also have my main camera nested twice because inside of the second one are some actions that can be triggered by chat. They can punch me in the face, and that plays directly over the camera so that it's available in every single scene that my camera is available, no matter what scene I'm in. I don't have to build it twice and add all of that stuff in more than once, specifically per scene. And then I can add filters to each camera individually. You may also edit nested scenes separately from the scene itself. So if I was to nest a scene, say my camera, and add a filter to it, let's go with a fish lens. Now my camera is all ballooned out. But if I go to the original nested face, it's not. See? This one I just built welcome messages. So anytime somebody comes into one of my streams and chats for the first time, it will play a welcome message to them. It's actually requested by a viewer on YouTube, so shout out and thank you very much for giving me the idea, and I will show you how to build that and set that up in another video I'm going to do on StreamerBot, which is how it actually works. My camera border and alerts are all done in its own scene, so this whole border around my camera, which I made in After Effects, the bird logo itself, and this inlet right here are all their own scene. Anytime somebody follows, subscribes, cheers, donates, whatever, they all have their own alert. It plays over my camera right here. The bird actually expands, bursts into flames, slams back down on the camera border. Fire covers the entire camera border. The camera border then changes colors to whatever color the alert was that was triggered. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Inside of the sources, as you can see, almost everything is a nested scene. And as I was saying, you wouldn't have to have 15 or 20 sources inside of a scene if you do things this way, but I still do because I'm insane. So yeah. All right, next thing on the list is, actually, does everybody understand scene nests now? Do we get nesting scenes? You create a scene over here on this side, and then you import the entire scene on this side so that it's available inside of multiple scenes. The next thing is scene transitions. Now you can set up multiple transitions inside of this little tab here. Now I have this stinger transition that I created. We'll just use this as an example right now, right? So really quick, I'm gonna go to my intro scene, and then I'm gonna go back to my gameplay scene so you can see that transition I built. Now you don't have to make anything like that. That's a stinger transition that I specifically made myself inside of After Effects. It didn't take very long. I like the way it came out. It's cool. So to make a scene transition, you just go to the plus button. You'll have things inside of here. Shader is from a plugin. We did talk about it in one of my other videos. I did not really go into creating scene transitions using it, but it's one of the things you can do with it. We're gonna just click stinger transition because why not? Now inside a stinger transition here, you know what? We'll zoom out so you can see this whole thing. You would select a video file that you've made for a stinger transition. They are a little tricky to figure out at first, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. You double the width of the screen, keep the height standard, so it's kind of like having an ultra-wide monitor, 1920 by 1080, right? So you would set it to 3840 by 1080, and on one side of the video, you have your actual transparent doing whatever you want it to do, and then on the other side of the video, you have a black and white transition, and you set them side by side, and then you would use the track mat selection side by side, and then it would play the transition. So we have my transition just loaded in right now, just the video, and since I have it already made with the PNG on the left side and the black and white on the right side, you can just click the preview transition button and it will show you your transition working. Now, if it's set up improperly, you're just gonna see a regular transition play and it'll just look like this. But right here, you can actually see how it looks side by side without them overlaid using the track mat. You can see the PNG on the left and the black and white on the right. And then when you use the track mat, it puts them together over the top of each other and it works appropriately. Now, other transitions that you can use are cuts, fades, move transitions, which is one of my personal favorites. And it's what I use to go from chat to gameplay. So my camera just expands out of the box and contracts back into the box when I switch between my game scene and my chat scene. Now, the way I have all of this set up so that each one does specific things for each scene. My intro does the stinger transition I built, my gameplay and chat scene do the swap in and out of the bounds, and then my end scene does this burn away effect that I created inside of After Effects. Yeah. The way that all of that is done is by using a tool called Transition Table that I covered in another video as well, and you tell everything what to use as a transition. So as you can see, any scene going to my end scene uses the burn filter that I just showed you. Any scene going to wasted uses the cut scene, blah, 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 so on, so on. It's really simple once you get into it. Get used to it, whatever, whatever. Overlays and alerts. Now, these are actually pretty easy. So if you don't know how to add overlays and alerts, well, let's show you. In my last video, I talked about Stream Elements and using their overlays gallery and adding overlays. Inside of Stream Elements, you would have your overlays gallery. God, I'm good at this. You know what? I don't want to hear about it, Thomas. Hush your mouth. All right. You know what? We'll do my camera alerts. It's right here. It's easy. So inside, you'll have your settings for your alerts, and you will have, follower, subscriber, tipper, cheer, host, raid, blah, blah, blah. You go in, you can set each one so that you can change your video. You can do all of this stuff. It's fantastic. Now, mine are custom videos, but Stream Elements does have standard stuff that you can use. Check it out. They're basic, but they're okay. If you want to get funky, get a little fancy, you can do things kind of like me. You can create your own custom stuff that will play over your videos.
Born too late to explore the Earth, born too early to explore the universe, born perfectly to explore dank memes.
Yeah. So I built each one of these alerts inside of After Effects. Obviously, it's just one alert, and then it is...
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me.
Just adjusted color,
but I can help it that I'm
details.
Popular.
My name is Bill.
Per alert type, import each video file into Stream Elements, set it to whatever it's supposed to go with, and then once you have it imported into Stream Elements and you have it all set up inside of here, so you've got your video in here, and you got all your variations and all of your stuff set up, you would go here and you would copy the link. You would copy the link to that alert, and then you would add that into your stream by creating a browser source And as you can see, I have quite a few browser sources in my stream, so I'm not gonna add a new one, but you get the idea, right? I'm sure you do. And if not, let's just browser. You would take that link and you would paste it inside this field right here. You would change the width and height to whatever it is for the alert or whatever the browser source is. Not the alert, the browser source. I suggest keeping everything at the resolution of your monitor, just because you can rescale it inside of OBS. Forgive me for just bouncing around my screen right now. It's getting nutty over here, okay? Change your resolution. You can do custom CSS to change background colors, things like that. If you don't know how to do that, don't worry about it. It's not a thing. But if you do want to make things transparent that aren't transparent, this is actually what you would write in there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And that is literally it for overlays and alerts. You would do the same thing for overlays. You would just go to Stream Elements, because I'm not going to suggest any other site for overlays, although you can get them from Owned and stuff like that. And then you would import them as either images, media files, or browser sources. If you create them yourself, you can import them to Stream Elements and then put them into your stream as a browser source. It's pretty simple. Is everybody staying with me? If you're not, please feel free to like, subscribe, and you know, maybe turn on that notification bell. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about any of this stuff. I know it's a lot of information to go through. This video is not short. I'm not awesome. I'm sorry for dragging you through this. I'll create chapters for this one because it's, you know, it's a lot to ask that people watch a 25-minute video. It's crazy, but it really is a lot of information to go through. All right, the very last thing is filters. For filters, we're gonna just add a filter to the camera really quick because it's the easiest thing to do. All right, so you would go into your source that you want to go into, go to filters, and then in here you'll notice I don't have any on my camera right now. You click the plus button at the bottom left and you can add any one of these as a filter. A lot of these are actually plugins or scripts, so you might not have all of the things that I have here. We'll just do a blur because everybody will have a blur, right? Now, I prefer Gaussian blur because, I don't know, I've just been doing video editing and stuff forever and always used it. It's just what I prefer. Now you change the depth of the blur and you can see it make everything blurry, right? And then if you click it off, it goes away. Yay! Congratulations, you added a blur. Other things that you could do, let's do a color grading, just because, right? So say you wanted to remove everything and give a weird tone. You can do that. And then you would be able to toggle that on and off. You could use switches inside of Touch Portal or StreamerBot. So say you wanted to do something like this, where you have multiple color grades. And we're gonna rename all of these. We'll do green, we'll do blue, red, and we'll do yellow. If I can figure out how to do yellow. Wait, I'm on blue. I want blue. Come on. All right, blue, red, dang it. I'm not awesome at this. We'll just call that yellow. Cool. You could have this set up to trigger each one of these one at a time, so that it would just flash colors on your screen if you wanted to. Anytime somebody followed or subscribed or whatever, you could set a command inside of another application to trigger each one of these individually, one after the other. It would be a whole thing. You can actually also use another plugin to trigger them one after another, but that's another plugin for another day. We're not gonna get into that. That's way too much information. This video is already 47 minutes. So whatever it gets edited down to, you're welcome for not making you sit through an hour of content. Way too much. All right, now I'm gonna switch my scenes. All right, So that is way too much information to give you. I'm very sorry for that, but I thank you all for putting up with me and watching this video. If you did find it helpful at all, please again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Come back, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you found helpful, what you didn't find helpful. If you want me to expand on anything, give you more information, I'm always available. You can jump into my Discord, link in the description below, and ask me for help there. You can follow me on Twitch and come into the live stream any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 11 a.m. Central and ask me for help there. I will always make myself available. I will always respond to comments anywhere they are provided. I'm happy to help. Very sorry for the duration of this video. I hope you forgive me. As always, I hope you all just take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Have a great day. And I hope to see you in the next video. I'm out. God, that was way too much.